What's up, YouTube? My name is Mr. MSC, and today I want to talk about facts. I want to give my factual opinions, statements of what I truly believe, and everything that I have here, because I don't care if you hate me for whatever I say, if you disagree with what I think, anything like that. The thing that does bother me is when people just make up rumors about what I think and then say those, and then people start hating on those things. And it's like, just hate me for me, not like made up lies about all of everything. So I want to just go out and just clear it up and give my opinion on the various pieces of this new expansion, of my role, of all of the ladder, all sorts of things. And then you get to decide for yourself. But this is actually like my thoughts for it all. The first one will be the Warlock class. A lot of people, half the people say that I think it's not overpowered. Half the people say I think it is overpowered. And everybody gets mad at me for both ways of it. So I'm just going to like go on the side of, I think the Warlock is a little overpowered right now. I think it came out hot. It came out overtuned. There are some bugs with it. Miasma Chains is kind of bugged, and so it's proccing like way too many times. Echoing Strike is bugged because it's doing a multiplier on the flat damage of the skill itself. And so it needs to be tuned down as well. Blood Oath is overpowered because it allows you to go up to like 100%. And they said they're already going to cap that at like 50% for damage taken goes to Demon. Bind Demon is overpowered. You shouldn't be able to put 1 point in and just have a god demon that can just exist throughout the entire game. There's a couple other pieces that are overpowered. There's also a couple things that are a little underpowered. I feel like early levels of Abyss and late levels of Abyss are kind of underpowered. Mid game, it was pretty strong, but like early and late felt like a little weak. Fire felt a little strong, but all fire skills are kind of strong in Diablo 2 early, because then they run into Act 4 Nightmare and they kind of like turn into garbage. So I don't like hate the fire nearly as much. And but it could still probably be tuned down a tiny bit, like early Ring of Fire and Flame Wave could be like slightly tuned down, I think. And yeah, so overall I'd say the character is probably about 20 to 30% overpowered right now and just needs some reductions in some areas and maybe a couple buffs in some others. But I do think the character is fun at the very least. There's a lot of different build opportunity for it, which is something that is really cool. So I think it's a fun character, but a little overtuned, and they do need to bring it down some. Number 2, the grind for 99 I did on softcore because I was not eligible for hardcore. I'm not eligible for the statue because I did playtest the Warlock prior. This was the same thing in Diablo 4. At the very beginning of Diablo 4, they did that same thing with like the first 300, I think was the same. People get on the statue, and every streamer that participated in playtesting any bit was ineligible. I think it's just a good flat thing to do, just to cross that out. So my grind for the 99 ladder was on softcore. It was just a fun pride grind thing. Do I think there was a massive advantage by having playtested the character before? A little bit. I think having the 9 days beforehand was enough time that we all kind of like figured out. And honestly, in that 9 days, I learned more than I think I learned playtesting, just because we had millions of people playing the game and testing and coming up with new ideas and strategies and thoughts. So like, I didn't think about using an Eth Ariox and, you know, stuff like that with the build Echoing Strike until we got through those 9 days. But yeah, I still had like some playtesting time and experience, so I do think there's a small advantage there, which again is why I'm not like eligible for the prize, but I can still grind. If you want to hate that I was eligible, or like I still ran the ladder, I don't know. I'm gonna play Diablo 2. I like Diablo 2, so I'm just gonna have fun with that. Some people are mad that I released, you know, videos right when the Warlock dropped. This was something that, you know, I talked about with the devs. I did and with other, like, you know, with the other like sites and stuff, I did a paced out video release piece. So the devs thought the most fair thing to do is release information first, which is why my initial guides were how to use a loot filter and set it up so you can do that. Here's how the chronicle works. Here's right. Like I tried to have those. I didn't have in-depth guides for like building the character day one. Then day 2, leveling guides could be put out. Day 3, end game guides could be put out. And this is something that, again, I talked with the other like creators about and the guide writers and stuff to pace it out so that there would be that piece. And it wasn't just like drop and then immediate, here is your end game guide and every skill point where you want to put it. 1, that's not as fun for the players. 2, that does feel more like an unfair advantage. If you're mad that I dropped like, here's how the chronicle works right when it came out, I don't know. It's like, you should also be mad at every, movie reviewer and every music reviewer that gets sent an album early and anything like that, because like, that's, you just like prep the content and it's like a fun hype thing to do and whatever. But if you want to get upset about it, again, you can get upset about it. I'm just giving like the facts and the straight piece of it. So I don't care. Number 4, the grind 299. There's a lot of misinformation going on about this grind. And a lot of people saying like, oh, Llama just got fed Enigma in the first 2 hours and then like pushed, and that's super unfair and all that stuff. Like the helpful thing is I do have the community and my chat, to fill games and to help me out over the time of the run. I also get the trolls that come with it, the people stealing game names, the people hostile in the game, the people that are just screwing around, right? Like there is annoyance with it too, but I do gain advantage in that way. Every person that is pushing the top 99 on every single race that has ever existed, going back to literally the first Diablo 2 race, has been a community push. Like that's just always existed. Gerbarb versus Rustbarb is literally the first time Diablo 2 got launched there, and it was just massive teams, Germany and Russia, pushing these 2 barbarians to 99. And I had my community and my, helping me out in this race, and SGA had his team, his German team, helping him out in the race. And everybody, again, that's going for 99 is just going to have that. It's a communal game. Until they put an SSF ladder into the game, you're just always going to have, if you can get 7 friends, 10 friends together and people to help feed you gear and people to help, be in your games and push you a little bit, you just have an advantage. I think I would also gain advantage even more so maybe in an SSF ladder, because Diablo 2 is my job, and so I don't have to go to a job, so I could like just no life that. But I think this. But anyways, I didn't have Enigma till day 3 of this race. Literally until level 94, I was without an Enigma. I was teleporting around with the teleport staff. I was teleporting my own bales. I literally was creating pub games at one point. I tele Bale 01, 02, 03, and just teleporting straight to Bale throne rooms, opening the TP, and just getting whatever basic experience I could from that. It was much less efficient than the organized team, which is why I was about 450 million experience behind at the end of day 2 right there, and SGA was ahead because he had sorceresses teleporting him and dropping him off, and they were feeding him more gear and all that. And so I didn't have those pieces coming in. It wasn't until that I dropped like some gear. I dropped a Perfect Arax. I got some like Eth Colossus Volge bases and some other items that I was able to trade up. And eventually day 3, I traded into an Enigma and then took that forward. So do I think I had an advantage over your average person? 100%. Do I think having the community versus, do I think I could be faster if I just got a group of 10 dedicated people and pushed 99? Yeah, I think that would be a faster way to go, honestly. But, I enjoyed doing it with the chat. I think it's really cool when 1,000 people get to participate over the course of the whole time, joining your games and doing whatever stuff. And yeah, so overall, the items I got from chat on day 3 were a 35 Spirit, 3 Eldritch Skillers, a Torch and Annie, a Low Rune and Ist Rune, a 5 Ulris Small Charm, a couple like other small charms. My Mercenary got geared out eventually. That was pretty late, but eventually got geared with like a Fort and Andes. I want to say that's it. Maybe a couple other small things. But it was very nice. Again, I appreciated all that, and I gave back all those items already to the rightful owners. Next, I want to talk about Sunder Charms. I did not do anything with Sunder Charms for the development of this game. A lot of people say I removed Sunder Charms. I have complained in the past that Sunder Charms dropped 3 to 4 Sunder Charms an hour when you farm on players 8, and that is way too many. The devs decided to change Sunder Charms back. I do like what they've done with it. I think it's gone too far in the opposite direction, and I actually think they need to be more common than they are. Because they were like, we just really like kind of overshot, right? They were over here where it was like everybody got Sunder. Sunder was just so easy. And for something that like breaks immunity and is that powerful, I think you got to like push them a little, right? Like, okay, don't make it that rare, or that easy. Because I eventually just stopped. I just ignored them, right? Like it was just annoying to have them drop as often as they did. But now I literally did a grind all the way to 99 in terror zones for like so many hours. I didn't find a single Sunder Charm. I don't think the entire group that I did it found a single Sunder Charm in that entire time. In the 9 days prior, I was also grinding. I grinded to 96 in the terror zones, and I found 1 Sunder Charm. So I think like having them locked to T4 and T5 heralds is pretty brutal. And then I also think the drop rate is just like pretty brutal as well. So I think you got to make it a little bit better, like at least twice as much, if not a little more. And if you bring it to all the heralds, I think that also improves it. Just so you're not having to like purely have it locked to the T4 and T5. So I'm on the side of make Sunder Charms more common, but don't just give them away for free like we were doing before. At the same time, I think you could have some possibility where you do have like old Sunder Charms that can't be crafted at still not as crazy of a drop rate as they were. And then new Sunder Charms that like, or that, you know, the old ones that can't and they're easier and the new ones can, but they're from the heralds. And maybe there is some like way you can balance that. I don't know. That's for the devs to figure out and decide. Andariel Terror Zone. She got nerfed some. She is now as good as all the other bosses in Terror Zones, which is still absolutely amazing. That nerf probably somewhat came from my video doing the Terror Zone Andy. I didn't hack drops or anything. I didn't do any seed manipulation or anything. I just played the game and I found every single item in under 60 hours, starting at level 1, including the leveling time, including any gearing time. I didn't even end up super efficient because my gear wasn't that great when I finished, but I still found all the items under 60 hours. I think that TZ Andy was too good, and I think I could have found everything in under 30 hours if I started with just like a full amped character. Yeah, I think she was too good. I think they did the right move. She's still amazing. Everybody's acting like Andariel's not worth farming anymore, and it's like, no, it's just she's worth farming as much as farming Mephisto now, as opposed to twice as good as Mephisto. You know, like, you just... They're still really good. So even the people that only play 1 hour a day, 2 hours a week, whatever, you're still going to go get tons of godly items from Terror Zone Andy, like I promise you. Also, other drop rates weren't touched. Some people are like, did they nerf drop rates all over? Did they, again, everybody's like rumoring and stuff. They didn't touch other drop rates. Like everything else is still the same. Converted Annies and loot. I think the conversion from LOD to D2R stuff is not good. Or from D2R to ROTW is not great. I don't love that Annies existed in Resurrected, and like people did like runs over there and got the Annies there and then are converting them and like trading them in this ladder. I don't think that should be possible. I think they should cut that. But again, I'm not the developer of this game. Hacks, bots. I don't use hacks and I don't bot. If you go back 20 years, I botted once for 2 weeks. And then I got really bored of the game and I quit because I realized that was not fun anymore. Otherwise, I don't hack. I don't change. I don't like manipulate my files. I don't increase my drop rates. So many times people are like, oh, he's increasing his drop rates and all this stuff. I mean, literally, I just played like 30 minutes ago. I was playing. I found 2 high runes in like 10 minutes, but it was online. So like, oh, well, I couldn't be hacked. Right. It just, when you play as many hours as I've played probably close to 40,000 hours. When you play as many hours as I've played, you're just going to have times where you find 3 high runes in 3 hours. And then you'll have a time where you find no high runes in 100 hours, right? Like it's just statistically, you're going to have all of these outcomes and crazy things. So I've never changed or manipulated any of the files in any way that I didn't tell you guys about, such as I did update the file for the anti-terror zone run, to only be anti-terror zone or something, right? But like, that seems pretty obvious. Clips. Some people say I'm using AI for my clips and things like that. No, I don't like AI, and Moo Girl does all the clips. So all the clips and shorts and everything are done by her. Sometimes they're a little bit funky. She's learning what is the best stuff to clip and not. And so, thank you to her. Clap is for her for just extra content. It's just time I don't have. But she's going and putting all that effort in to go and get fun clips to put up on YouTube for you guys to watch. So again, there's been a couple times that they've like been a little strange because she misclipped it or whatever, but there's no AI there. And lastly, JSP. I think JSP is kind of a necessary evil in some ways. There's like a love-hate that goes along with it. I've done like at length talks about it before, but I'll give again for the kind of the general summary pieces right here. I don't love JSP in the long run. I wish that there was a different solution that Blizzard had, just like a market-in game that worked well and existed, and we could just have that there, and there wasn't this overall like outside market, because you can buy forum gold, and I don't love that, right? But like it transcends the ladders and all this stuff, so it like kind of ruins the idea, right? Because you can just like get stuff from the next ladder. But for a game that doesn't really have a good communal place to trade, and especially trade a lot of high value items and all of this stuff, it is super good. Like I have to give them props for how well it functions at what it does, which is making it easy to just like go and trade. Hey, I just want to like trade in this jaw rune. I just want to get my insight, whatever it is, and have that. And it does a really good job of providing that place. And even like, and there's enough community there as well that it makes it a lot easier. Like I also use Tradery for trading and stuff, but it can be like harder to get trades going over there and stuff. Here you can just have it. And PoE 2 now has that like built-in market, and it's really nice. And I wish we would have something like that in Diablo 2. It's, you know, the old trade just is not efficient enough, unfortunately, for nowadays. And yeah, so again, it's like I understand and value what it does bring, and I've used it for a couple of the like ladders that I've gone up on, and also to like help a couple other people on some of the ladders with it. Because sometimes you're like, I just gotta trade some things. Like, I need to go get this thing so I can just have it for this. And if you don't have someone who can go out and farm it, it almost balances the playing field in a way. Where, you know, it's like, if I, you know, let's pretend that I'm someone who has like 50,000 forum gold or something, I could just go and get Enigma day one. And that balances it with Llama and his community that could go get him Enigma day one if they wanted, right? Like, it allows everybody to kind of have a similar level playing field of that, where you could get gifted in, and I could use the forum gold, and we could all be right, kind of there. So I actually do think like there's some help there, but regardless, like I still think overall I wish Diablo 2 would fix it, and that would just be done, or at least improved, by providing a proper in-game marketing space where you could easily have offline trade and all of this, and you could just go and quickly like, all right, I need a High Lords, I go there, perfect. For the High Lords, they want an Ohm Rune, here's the Ohm Rune, I get my High Lords, we're good to go. You know, like whatever it is, boom, and I'm off. I think that would like solve a lot of it. But right now, like, what do I do if I want a High Lords and I'm trying to grind? You know, it's really hard. So I think it helps. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good base of all of like my opinions and thoughts and facts. And again, if you disagree with those, if you want to hate me for those, then like, sure, that's fine. But just like make it the clear points instead of the weird muddied ones that people put out everywhere that, you know, they're just like, what? I don't think that at all. And they're like, that's why I hate them. And it's like, well, then what? But that's not my thought. I didn't do any of that. What? So anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. Peace, everybody.